Indeed.
Hello. Welcome back. Potentially short on time, so we can dive right in. A brief recap, as always. You guys are in the bottom of an underwater temple. Having slowly made your way on this bit of a dungeon crawl, as it were, you discovered a large room where this glowing crystal that you can see before you seems to reside. It was protected by a number of undead individuals, one of whom you encountered initially, who then proceeded to summon some large sea humanoid creatures made of coral and other undead bits. Yeah, you eventually overpowered the four adversaries and approached the crystal. Arwen, you, while it initially seemed to attack your mind, were granted a glimpse inside of a battered and sort of beaten up looking figure, a female with a bald head and pale skin and dark black feathery wings wrapping around her shoulders. She seemed to be in a place made from entirely red stone. And that was about all you gleaned from it. She had a few words to exchange with you, but did not seem keen to prolong the exchange. You then, between you, decided through various means to destroy this crystal, which you assumed was some sort of portal or summoning circle, a number of the chains being lit up. And with its destruction, the chains faded, any arcane essence in them seeming to fade as well. However, the destruction of this also seems to have caused a significant amount of damage to the temple. The booms that sort of rippled out from its destruction as it fractured and splintered seem to have caused some structural damage, or have potentially released some structural damage that was already there that was being held at bay by this arcane force. And so you attempt to make your escape, which is where we begin.
Can I just something? That was a brilliant recap, but you forgot that Arwen went back in time.
Yeah. I did.
Yeah, that is true. Having all rolled initially terribly to ascertain anything, I made the offhand comment that if you rolled 100 on D100, I would let you go back in time to try again. Which you successfully did.
Which I'm never letting go. That's part of Arwen now, the time traveller.
Absolutely.
Albeit a very tame one, who only went back in 3 seconds, but still.
Time traveller nonetheless.
Indeed.
And so this is where we begin, with soft rumblings emanating vibrations through the floor, and several large chunks of rock initially fell upon you.
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah, you all can start making your way back through the various chambers and things. So you initially start running, you make your way out, initially getting into going back through reverse order, finding yourselves in the these dorm-like rooms full of bunks and things like that. A lot of the doors seem to have closed behind you once again. So moving into this room, looks like Styx has zipped off, leading the way. You will need to make a strength check to open these doors, as you are under some time pressure.
Cool, mate. Yeah.
Working together, you can roll it with advantage.
I should make you
22. More than sufficient to open up the first door. Make your way out. As you're making your way, maybe only sort of 30 seconds to a minute has passed, but you can, swimming as quickly as you can under the water, you can feel the chill of the depths start creeping up on you. It seems the water, you're quite far north at the moment, and the water, when you initially entered it, what feels like hours ago now, to help aid a small village with raising some ships that had sunk, had been quite chill, and potentially it was subconsciously aware, or you maybe physically noticed that as you delved into this cavern, the waters actually became pleasantly warm around you, and it's that lack thereof, of this warmth to the water, as the chill starts creeping in, that makes you realise how cold the waters you're in actually are, how far north you are, how deep in the ocean you are. You start to feel the chill seep into your skin.
Oh no.
I'm of the dislike.
The next set of rooms are these cells that you came across initially. All the doors of the cells standing open. But again, to get back in, it seems like these doors have all closed behind you, so I need another strength check from someone with advantage.
Oh, go on, Dixie boy.
21, yeah. Between you managed to wrench open these doors, quickly making your way back through the small corridor with all the cell doors standing open. This time coming to the door of the labs. Before you make this strength check, Styx, can you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Ah, shoot. Never mind. I've got like 7 to wisdom saves. I'm fine.
Okay.
Jesus.
I would have done well to have this prepared. Okay. So I need dice. That's what I need.
Pardon?
I've got plus 11 because
It's my charisma. Plus my charisma. Plus our proficiency bar. Because of my aura of protection.
Yeah.
Ain't no one gonna banish me.
It doesn't say what the DC is. Presumably it's just the spell save DC. Okay. So you get to the doors, which you now know lead into the labs, where you found a number of undead, and you also found this stylus thing that you discovered draws on directly onto stone. I think whoever likes can make their strength check with advantage to open the next door.
I figure I'm at the front, so I might as well just give it a shot.
19, just enough to, again, you're getting a little bit tired, the cold seeping in, starting to have a chill. You're now, as you make your way down these corridors, having to sort of swim on a slightly more zigzaggy path as bits of rock and debris are slowly sort of drifting down from the ceiling. In a couple of places there's larger chunks that you have to get over and round and make your way back through, coming up to the next door. It'll be another strength check to open the door. So far you're all sticking together. 16 is... Oh, sorry, no, with advantage, 21. So yeah, again, with the help of your friends, you're absolutely fine. But you're all swimming hard now. You've been swimming hard for quite a while. Can everyone make a Constitution saving throw?
Did you say everyone's sort of around me? But like we're all stuck together.
Yeah.
Is that within 10 feet of each other?
That would be a fair assumption, yes.
Excellent. Everyone can add 4 to their con saves. I failed regardless, but that's fine.
Does that include your +4 already?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
These doors, man.
Yeah.
They make them struggle.
And then Neo gets a 16, I believe. Not a 16. No, that's not how maths works at all. It's a 14. So, Sticks. Having opened these doors, the cold seeping into your bones, having sort of, leading the way, you suffer 1 level of exhaustion.
Mother!
You're the one that's swimming the hardest through the doors, getting ahead of everyone, leading the way, sort of taking the brunt and forging the paths down these corridors, and taking on the brunt of the work, trying to yank open these heavy doors in a hurry to quickly enable your party to escape. And it all just becomes a little bit too much. So you take 1 level of exhaustion.
Oh. This is very tiring. I don't like this. I don't particularly fancy being crushed.
Indeed, you now have disadvantage on ability checks. So, are you still leading the way?
I feel like someone else should.
Yeah. Neo or Arwen, you guys take the lead. I'll be right behind you.
Okay.
I'm just like, I gotta stay. I gotta stay.
Okay. Neo's gonna go first, so I'll just... Wait, is it strength with advantage, yeah?
Strength check with advantage to open the doors. 20. Okay, Neo succeeds and manages to push open the doors. You find yourself in a corridor you may well recognise. This was the one where the statue, one of the statues was missing. And interesting enough, the plinth where the statue of the beautiful woman, the one with these angelic angel wings and this beautiful face, is now also missing. But all the other statues are in place. Lying on the floor is the clear remnants of this ooze-like monster that you defeated earlier. The undead reverse mermaid creature it had absorbed is also lying on the floor, and then there is this small opening in this cage that previously trapped Styx as well when he ventured into it. So can everyone make an athletics or acrobatics check to make it through this small sort of 2-3 foot wide opening?
Athletics. Oh, but it's a disadvantage.
Yes, it is.
Do you want me to roll Neo's?
No, that's alright.
Okay.
You can use athletics or acrobatics, depending on to either sort of like just pull your way through or nimbly move around. So Clary, you're fine, but Arwen.
Oh no. I've already made the save, so I get if you say no. But I still have a level 2 spell slot. So could I Misty Step through it? Never mind, I don't have a Misty, level 2 spell slot. I was looking at Chantel's sheet. The disappointment.
I would have said no. However, Clary, as so Neo manages to sort of quickly nip through, and you're quickly behind him. Arwen potentially or charitably stops to try and help and sort of pull sticks through, and the two of you end up one step behind the others.
Oh no.
So you two are currently one stage behind the other two.
Back.
Okay.
But you're swimming along, you reach the next door ahead of everyone. Clary, you're there with Neo. You can roll to open the door with advantage, or you can.
Before I got opening it, I think you've got better strength.
One would assume, being a paladin.
Yeah, so that's an 18. Between the two of you, you do just manage to shoulder this door, and it starts to slowly open, and the two of you dart through, leaving it behind. You can wait for your companions, or you can swim on to get out ahead of them.
Oh wait, I'll be nice.
Okay, the
Thank you.
two of you decide to wait, and the four of you are collectively grouped up
I
together
get it.
again. But as a group, you now effectively have one failure,
Wow, I see.
as you are all effectively now one stage back from where you could be.
I'm sorry, imagine if we didn't kill that frickin' ooze thing.
Yeah.
How fucked would we be right now? Anyway.
You push on. Pushing through
on.
the next corridors, the next few doors again. This next corridor contains one of the traps you had successfully avoided before. So everyone will need to make a dexterity roll to avoid this trap of these two large crocodile mouths that you had established.
Oh yeah.
Breathed fire and superheated the water around them.
Fuck! Oh, fuck!
Oh no, that was yours again. Sorry. Ignore that.
Yeah, mine's the 7. It's a dexterity save.
Oh.
You still got
I'm
plus
doing
3
all
in
the
that
wrong
anyway.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it should be dex acrobatics. Sorry, I should have got dex acrobatics, so if you've got proficiency in that, you can add that onto it. Either way, it's not going to save sticks. Arwen, it's definitely not going to save you with a natural 1.
Mine should be 9.
Yeah, 16 is fine. So Clary again definitely moves ahead, swimming under, avoiding triggering the trap. The three of you potentially sort of go, you go, no, you go, and then end up sort of moving at the same time. So all three of you between you trigger the trap, and you take, ooh, that's a big roll. 10 damage as these two sort of pilot lights heat up and start sort of roaring, and then start bubbling away, and the water becomes hot in these concentrated jets of fire.
I hope you guys are feeling strong. You may need to drag my dead body soon.
Yeah, me too.
No offense, guys. If you die, then we should stay there.
If you
If you're
die,
half alive, then yeah.
you die. You die. That's fine. I'm a big boy.
No, it's
Fine.
not fine.
Was everyone behind apart from Clary?
Yes.
Yeah.
Save yourself.
So coming to the next door. Again, in the corridor. Up the flight of stairs, you must make another strength check, someone, to open the door. Neo can make it if you want.
I thought Clary was the only one in front.
Clary is in. You're all together. So because you guys waited and grouped up, you're all together, and so you're all moving at the same.
Oh,
You guys just
also
tripped the trap and
Okay.
all took damage from that. But you're still swimming through. It's
Okay.
not something that physically slows you down like the grate was.
Would I have time to do a lay on hands?
Yeah, you can do that. You won't be able to help with anything for the time being.
I have exhaustion, so I think me helping isn't very good anyway. So Arwen, take 8 points of healing,
oh, thank you.
and I will take my final 2.
Okay, if you're going to do 2 people, then you will fall a stage behind.
Oh,
As it's an action
Yeah.
to do, so you can do 1.
yeah,
And then you
fuck
do
it.
Arwen, and then you pause to
I
conjure the energy again to just
I
top
need
yourself up the last little bit.
I need this rather badly.
Yeah, that's fine. Neo has 5 lay on hands left. If anyone would like to direct him to use that, it's up to you guys. He also has some
Don't-
spell slots left if you want to direct him to use that. But again, if he's doing that, he won't be able to make this check to open the next door.
We'll be fine. Keep going.
We're almost to the end.
Yeah,
Sort of.
but yeah, we're nearly in, so it should be okay.
We'll be fine. Onwards.
Okay.
Onwards and upwards.
Alright, well, Neo will make the check to open the door with advantage. Ooh, he only just makes it. This door slowly forced open. And allows you guys down the next corridor. This is one that you would remember contained one of these rod-like traps that sits there, which you found 2 pendant necklaces that seemed to negate the activation of. How are you getting past this?
Just
I'm gonna give my pendant to Styx because you need it more than I do. Clary's doing alright. So.
If I grab Neo,
I'm back.
yeah. Would she have time to like chuck one back?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, it's a free action to sort of draw a weapon or something like that. So you could easily sort of take this thing off and just sort of toss it in an arc through the water, and it would sink slowly, and Styx could grab it out of the air.
Okay, I'll do that then. I'll swim
Yeah,
across
so
them.
Styx now has the necklace.
honestly, I remember these traps, and I remembered how much damage they did to me last time. And if I'd have not taken these pendants, Styx would have died down here. No doubts about it. Would be dead. For
Okay,
that.
so Styx, you swim past. Neo still has a level 2 spell slot, so he closes his eyes for a brief second, and then there's this sort of as this void of water is suddenly, this void is created in the water and suddenly filled, and then he pops up on the other side as he casts Misty Step
Hey.
to get to the other side. It just leaves Clary and Arwen. One of you has a pendant, one of you doesn't.
I have one, so I'm just gonna swim.
Okay, which just leaves Clary. Are you going to swim through, Clary? Or are you going to do something to try and negate it?
I have nothing I can do, so she's just gonna swim and pray.
Well, last time you guys passed a pendant back using Mage Hand, which you can do again.
Yeah, in that case, Styx, you wanna give it back?
Oh yeah. Throw it back. Yeah.
Okay.
One
So
drop-
the
I wouldn't
time for
drop
Clary to cast the mage hand, send it across, bring the pendant back, swim across again. Clary will fall another stage behind, unless everyone else waits for you.
I'm awake.
Okay, so you're
I'll
all
wait.
waiting?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're now 2 stages.
Okay.
But you are through. Coming up to the next door, strength check. Do you want Neo to keep making these?
Could I give him advantage with my exhaustion?
Yeah, you can still help.
Okay, yeah.
Because
I'll-
to give
although
someone
I'm-
advantage, you have to take the help action.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
using his action to open the door. You are using the help action.
Okay, I'll help.
Ooh, that's not good. He only rolls a 10. So between the two of you, you're straining and struggling, and you can't quite open the door. He will make a con save. That's a natural 1. Neo also, having picked up a few of these, takes 1 level of exhaustion.
Mother of all things shit.
Can he open the door, or does someone else have to?
Someone else will need to make the check.
Oh fuck.
I was about to say. I was literally just about to say I cast guidance on Arwen.
Oh, sorry.
Well, you can still help. Clary can take the help action, so you can gain advantage.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Oh.
So just roll again. And then roll for guidance.
What is what?
Guidance is 1d4 on an ability check.
Dear God!
15. So you guys are struggling and you're straining, and you manage to just crack the door open enough for you all to slide on through. But it takes a while of all of you straining. Arwen, can you also make a Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
As it's now very, very cold down here. 14 is enough.
Oh.
You
Thank
don't
God.
take a level exhaustion, but you guys do get slowed down significantly on this door. Coming down what you recognise to be one of the final corridors, the spot that Clary had noticed before, where the ceiling seemed to be unstable, has now collapsed. Bits of debris having shaken loose and fallen. There is a very small gap, again, that you can either try and squeeze through or brute force your way through. Everyone will need to make an athletics or acrobatics saving throw again. Or not saving throw, skill check.
Is this with disadvantage or regular?
For me, it's a disadvantage.
Oh yeah, no, it was just because yeah. Okay.
It's a straight roll for Arwen and Clary. It's disadvantage for Styx and Neo.
It's been really, really fun knowing all of you.
So, again, Styx,
dying.
both Styx and Neo sort of flagging behind with their exhaustion. It just takes them a lot longer. They haven't got the strength. You can feel the muscles burning in your arms and your shoulders. So you're trying to just pull your way through and like squeeze your way through. You're both bigger frames, so you have to like work a little bit harder to squeeze your way through this small hole. And the two of you fall a stage behind Clary and Arwen.
Did we get through?
Yes, the two of you make it through.
So we're out.
You're through the obstacle. Yes, you're not out yet.
But me and Neo are still in.
You're still in the facility itself. This was one of the traps that Clary noticed and managed to avoid. So you guys all make it through.
Oh.
But me and Neo are very, very far back.
Yeah. So
Fuck.
Styx. So you guys, because of your waiting, Styx and Neo are still only one stage behind Arwen and Clary.
Oh, okay.
But all of you guys are at least 3 stages. Effectively, you've had 3 failures. And then Styx and Neo are on 4. How many failures you can take before things start getting really hairy, you don't know. But the longer you stay here, the colder it gets.
I'm assuming it's not good. Okay,
So
that's fine.
you guys can wait for them, and you'll all be on 4 failures, or you guys can push ahead. Doing so would mean, like, if one person pushed ahead, they wouldn't get advantage to open the doors. If 2 of you push ahead, you can get advantage to open the doors and things like that. It's up to you guys what you want to do.
I think we should go ahead.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You 2 of you guys push ahead, so that'll be a strength check to open the next door.
If anything bad happens, you should be meeting a nice bard in a couple of days. Don't ask me how I know.
14 is not enough. You get the door open, but again, it's slow. So all of you, gives time for Neo and Styx to catch up. Again, just getting this door open in time. Can you make another Constitution saving throw for me, please?
Oh, sorry, hold on.
Just roll.
What?
Just do a straight roll.
Do it again. Okay, cool. Okay.
6. Arwen, you are now also have 1 level of exhaustion.
I'm too tired.
Yeah, as soon as each one of you takes successive turns leading, and slowly getting more and more drained. But you are.
Can I?
Yes, sorry.
Wait. The door. So the door's still shut, right?
No, the door is open. You just take another failure.
Oh, right. Okay. Okay.
Because it just takes you a long. Because otherwise, it's like, oh well, you failed. So someone else tried. Oh, they failed. So there's effectively the chance that you don't get the door open and you all just die, which I don't really like as a mechanic. So I'm thinking you get the door open. It's just slow. It's not a measure of do you get the door open. It's just how quick can you get the door open.
That's fair.
And so it's slowing you down with these failures and tiring you out. Pushbacks. You're now approaching rooms that you remember being very close to the start. Can everyone make a Constitution saving throw? 12.
Wait. If they took ages, that means me and Neo caught up. That means everyone's within my aura again. So I can add 4.
Yeah.
Never mind. It's not enough. It's not a D4.
Aaron, it's
Straight 4.
Oh.
Yeah.
Straight 4.
Oh, it's just 4.
Being within 10 foot of Styx gives you a +4 to all saving throws.
And I also just get a +4 to all saving throws.
And if you're within 10 feet of Neo, you get a +3, but those pluses don't stack. It's one or the other. So sticking by them in various combats is good. So everyone passes except Clary. So everyone takes 2 cold damage, except Clary, who takes 5. You have now, as a group, reached 5 failures.
Do we technically get 5 failures, or is it still 4? Because they caught up to us, so we were the ones that failed. So we stayed still, but they caught up, so then we're still on 4.
That's a fair argument. Yeah, no, that's fair. You guys would have been on 4, so they would have caught up to you. Yeah, no, I can see that logic. I will keep the cold damage, and if you fail again, I won't roll it. For now, it's just the easiest way of doing that, I think. But yes, you push through this armory, a room which you sort of passed through very briefly before. Again, things have sort of cascaded to the floor, and things like that. all these suits of armors that were on racks and stuff. You pass through this room quite quickly, giving it sort of a brief once over, not really believing there was to be much value. And off to one side, Arwen, you do notice a gleam of silver that you didn't pick up on before.
Ooh. Do I have time to go?
It's off
Can
in the
I?
far corner, so it'll take you a little bit of time to swim over there and swim back again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and do it.
Okay, so the others reach the door, and Arwen darts off into the corner.
Arwen!
Shiny.
So
This is not the time to shine!
make a strength check. Someone to open the door. Styx and Neo, if you do it, you can assist each other and do it with as a straight roll. Or Clary, you can do it with advantage.
Shit! No! Oh, well, guys.
Okay, so Arwen, you do have time as it takes longer again, so that will now be your fifth failure, and so that will be where you should have taken the cold damage. So everyone is fine, back to where they should be. Arwen, you nip it into the corner, and the thing you see is a rather nice helm that doesn't seem to have picked up the stains and the damage. It seems like a wooden chest or something like that has had a piece of debris fall on it and has broken open this box. You can stuff your hand inside and grab it, tucking it under your arm or in your bag or something along with you.
Yep.
And you now enter this another corridor, pushing through. There's another door. Do one more strength check to open the door.
Still got +4. If Neo helps me, it's just a straight roll. I feel like that's a pretty good shout. Never mind.
15.
Actually, no.
15 is close, but not enough.
Fuck!
Open the door. You guys go to 6. Can everyone make another Constitution saving throw?
Oh, thank God.
Ben, you've got yours set up so your +4 is included in all of yours, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't have 5 Constitution.
No, but
Uh,
so I just,
Yeah, Clary gets +4, so does Arwen.
Neo also hits the natural 20, so he's going to take half damage. Ooh, so that is 6 damage to Styx and Clary. 6 cold damage, 3 to Neo and Arwen.
Styx, you alright?
I'm suddenly even better. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming.
Neo does have 2 spell slots and some lay on hands.
But if we use those spell slots, we use the action, then we have to wait here anyway, and then we take more damage, which will probably negate the amount of healing he'll give me, especially if he rolls a 1. So let's just fucking keep going and pray.
If we take cold damage, yeah.
Yeah. I have one final spell slot. I'm going to tell everyone to keep going. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Okay. Roll Cure Wounds. 10.
Oh, that's got to be a pretty good roll.
That's a
On a
6.
D8, it's a pretty damn good roll.
Good
Helps to have a +4 as a paladin. But there we go.
Yeah. Well, you can take.
Well,
You can effectively take one action per stage. So
Okay.
you can cast Cure Wounds on yourself. It was when you cast Lay on Hands on Arwen and yourself, that was 2 actions.
Oh, right.
So you
yes.
can do that on yourself just fine. Keep pushing through. And you get back into this chamber where you initially, very near where you started, it seemed to be this sort of entryway and have these stone lockers and things like that. And there was one of these ones which you tried to open, and a green poisonous gas ended up spurting out at you guys when you triggered certain arcane runes on it.
Ah, yes. Good times.
Swimming through. Again,
I'm not touching
check to open this door.
Anyone fancy doing it?
Okay.
Killed thrice.
So Styx, Arwen, and Neo all have disadvantage because they are level 1 exhausted.
If I help Neo,
It becomes a straight roll for him.
fucking hell, Neo.
What? You? Shit.
So that's another failure. So can everyone make a Constitution saving throw? Arwen, can you make 2, please?
2? Why do I have to make 2?
Because you have tried and failed to open the door.
No, I didn't. That was Neo.
Oh my god, I have +5 in Constitution saving throws. Give me more than 10. Oh my god.
I'm going to take your roll, Arwen, because if Neo rolled, it would be a straight roll, so you don't have to roll to take the help action. Also,
No, that's Neo. I did it on Neo's sheet.
Oh, my apologies.
It's just
Sorry.
my face.
So, okay. So can Neo make? I'll make 2 Constitution checks for Neo.
Oh no, no.
That's such a drastic difference.
Okay.
You have a +4.
Alright, so would you like Neo's save against exhaustion to be on the green dice or the purple dice?
God. Purple.
It should have been us in that collision. That would have been less painful than this.
Actually, he saved it up, so it doesn't really matter. So Neo doesn't take a second level of exhaustion, and he passes. So everyone but Neo is taking full cold damage.
Oh.
So it's 5 cold damage to everyone.
Oh,
Cold
no.
damage to Neo. But you open out into the final chamber, which, as you remember, was another of these circular rooms that held these stone rod embedded in the floor, sort of about 30 feet around. How are you getting past?
Oh, Christ.
Okay, I have the pendant. No, you have the pendant.
Pendant and Arwen has a pendant.
So, Arwen, go.
Yeah.
Harry, go. Pass it back to me.
Neo has another spell slot, right?
Yeah, so Neo can Misty Step if you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
So again, there's this sort of underwater as he disappears, and this sort of whoop as the water fills in the void, and he appears again on the other side. Who's swimming across first?
I will.
Okay,
Take one for the team.
with a pendant.
Yeah.
Okay, you're fine. You make it across the other
Thank
side.
God.
Who's next?
Clary.
With a
If
pendant.
she's got. Yeah.
Okay, so Clary, you swim across with a pendant. You're absolutely fine. You make it to the other side.
And then I'm going to throw the pendant across to Styx.
Okay, so you cast Mage Hand.
Yeah.
Okay, this hand appears, grabs it, swims it back across. Moves through the water, gives it to Styx. You swim across, you're fine. Again, because of the time it takes you to do this, can everyone make a Constitution saving throw?
I really don't want to.
Ooh, that's a failure for Neo.
Oh, no.
No.
It's not the end of Clary.
This isn't the end of Clary. We'll be fine.
Everyone passes but Clary. So Clary, you take 6 cold damage again, and everyone else takes 3.
3?
3.
Can it be 2?
No, it's 3.
No, Owen!
Can it please be 2?
No, it's 3.
Tell Hugo I lost him.
No, I am
Ah.
I'm picking up Arwen,
Oh no.
dragging her ass out.
My limp body just... I'm too cold for this.
I'm assuming you fall unconscious for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The frostbite has set in.
Oh no, because if I do that, then I just die, and then nothing.
Okay, so
So-
you guys all make it back across the room, and you start swimming down this corridor. It's, again, all of this while you've been moving through these corridors, it's been quite a sort of psychedelic experience. There's bits of small rubble and debris, small pebbles and things fall from the ceiling, and slowly sort of ping off the floor, sending out these ripples in this bioluminescence. You've got these small sort of blue pings going off all around you. The cold seeping into your bones, the exhaustion, all becomes too much, and Arwen just sort of passes out slowly, just falling unconscious.
Wait, Neo!
Seeing this happen,
Lay your hands upon.
Neo will reach out and grab you, start trying to pull you with him at the same time, using his remaining 5 lay on hands to bring you back to consciousness.
Ah,
I haven't hands either. So it's going bad. Bad in a real way.
It's going to be a quick session.
This is going to be a real quick session, guys.
later.
You guys are swimming for your lives now. You get back to... You finally reach the entrance down this short corridor. These lights glowing around you. And slowly, one by one, start squeezing your way back through this hole. Can everyone make an athletics or acrobatics check for me, please?
Oh god, oh god, oh god.
You deals first. I just fun, and therefore I'm going to be very sad.
Because of +6.
Shit.
Arwen, that should technically be a disadvantage.
Okay. Do you want me to just roll it straight again?
Roll straight, yeah.
Oh, the death gave her a high.
Not death, just unconsciousness.
Okay, her near-death experience gave her a high. What are you doing looking at my sheet?
I'm just wondering what things you've got left. So, Arwen, you squeeze your way through, helping those that come behind you. And as you break out into this underwater section, you feel not warmth, but a lack of cold
Oh.
sort of wash over you as you enter the sea proper, unaffected by whatever magic still surrounds this underwater place. You're still in cold waters,
They're not freezing.
but it's not this biting chill. You wouldn't want to hang around here for long. Clary, Styx, and Neo, which order would you like to be trying to get out in?
I will volunteer for last.
What did Neo roll?
Neo rolled a 10.
Okay.
So you push Clary ahead of you, Styx. Clary, you just about squeeze through the hole in time. But as you're sort of squirming through, a little bit stuck, the cold starts seeping into everyone's bones again. Can the three of you make Constitution saving throws? Clary with advantage.
And +4. Fucking hell!
Constitution save.
Oh, don't worry. 6 ain't done much goddamn better.
Unfortunately, the three of you all fail,
What's at the end of us?
and you all take 6 cold damage.
Right, which one of you are dead?
Me
And
and Clary. Clary is
that's-
out though, isn't she?
Is she just like half hanging out?
Clary's like half through the hole, yeah. With
Okay,
Yeah.
give me a second.
Like, she's like struggling, reaching for you, Arwen, and then all of a sudden you just see her eyes sort of dim and
I've grabbed Clary, she's out, and now she's got healed. Woo! Right, who's next?
you grab Clary.
It's like a lucky dip.
Okay, so you grab Clary, casting Cure Wounds as you do so. Clary, you snap awake out in the waters, Arwen's hands on you. Sticks.
thank you.
As you sort of
I
watch Clary
Us.
sort of slowly still in the water, you give a faint, you're just trying to help her through, and you just give her a little push before the darkness surrounds you and the light fades and you sort of fall back. Neo catches you as you sort of drift in the water, pushing you through the hole, while also casting Cure Wounds on you
Ah!
to give you what's his modifier? To give you 5 hit points
Ah! I'm alive!
using his last spell slot. The two of you are out. Neo is gonna, because of the speed of which I'm gonna make him make one last check to get himself out.
I'm going in.
He fails.
I'm going in.
He fails his con save. The three of you are out, looking at this hole, barely clinging to life. There's no sign of Neo.
I'm going in.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
You swim down,
Oh.
trying to grab, like stick your head through. Make an athletics check or an acrobatics check to squeeze through the hole again.
Shit!
Oh,
12. Okay.
Wait.
Only one of you can go in because of the
Ah.
confines of this hole. Only one of you can like reach through. So I'm going to take Arwen's because she's the one that said she was going for it. So you reach in, Arwen. Neo suffers 1 failed death save. As he takes more cold damage.
mm.
I don't know.
He's there, just sort of only sort of a couple of feet from the hole, so you only have to squeeze your head in, and you can grab him.
Okay.
Make a strength check to pull him out in time
Sweet.
at disadvantage.
Can I be sort of behind, pulling Arwen's legs out?
Okay, yeah, that would make it a straight roll because you'd have advantage. So a straight strength check.
That's not
16.
too much.
Yeah, you managed to like latch your hands on, grabbing Neo around his shoulders or something, line his head up and just yank him through without smashing his skull or anything, and pull him out into the water. He is unconscious.
I'll hold on. Where is it? Where'd it go? There it is. Sploosh. Live.
Okay. So you managed to get him out.
Live.
The three of you start kicking for the surface, Neo rising with you. A small bubble just sort of bloops up from his mouth and rises towards the surface before you reach down and have time to cast Cure Wounds on him to restore 8 hit points.
Wait, is he dead?
His eyes flicker open,
I was like, fucking Christ.
kicking for the surface. His arms feebly like straining through the water.
Oh my god.
The three of you break the surface. The sky has vastly changed colour. It was clear blue before when you left, and it's now streaked with orange as the sun shines low on the underside of the clouds. All of you breathe air for the first time in many hours, drained and exhausted. Just managed to make it back to the surface.
I need to go hug my dragon boy.
I need Elvis now.
Good old Elvis.
Elvis, I believe, was still on the ship.
He was. I never took concentration off. Actually, I should have been making
It's
concentration
not a
checks.
concentration spell.
No, it's not, is it? He just is there.
He's just
He's just
you
chilling.
succeed, and it just exists for as long as you want it, or until it's destroyed.
Oh, JJ, you were so close to a TPK there. That is unreal.
It was close.
It was unfathomably close. Oh, it's fine, everyone.
I'm
We're
not sweating,
alive.
you're sweating.
So, how close to death is everyone?
Well, I'm on 5 HP.
Me too!
Of 10 HP for a while. Pretty much all set.
Me too!
Clary was on like 25 HP at the start of all this. That got whittled down.
I haven't seen that much HP in weeks.
So the four of you rise slowly to the surface. Heads breaking the water, gasping for air. You're not struggling for breath because you still are under the effects of the underwater breathing potion that you drank. However, having come so close to death, I think it's fair to say you're all pretty keen to settle yourself solidly on land.
Yep.
As you sort of cast around, you recognise the boat and start swimming sort of gently towards the shore, you sort of aiding one another as you do so. And as you get closer, you're about sort of maybe 100, 150 yards out, and as you get closer, you start hearing shouts in the distance. Various voices calling out, and then over the splashing of your own swimming, you start to pick out your own names as these voices seem to be calling after you.
Aw, they're worried about us. How
And
cute.
then this cry goes up as this figure on the shore spots you. Stay here! I see them! Stay in the water! Sort of the sound of running footsteps as several people start splashing into the water and start trying to. You guys, are now sort of up to about sort of shoulder height. You can stand up, and they sort of start. They run in and start put arms around you, seeing that you're clearly tired and exhausted, helping you to the shore as the water sort of washing off you and your clothes hanging heavy, and you all start to sort of shiver in the cool evening air.
Piece of piss, sailor.
Let's do it again!
We all
You. There is still, now you're on land, it's very soft. You can still feel it. There's still these very soft rumbles and vibrations from the ground are still going on.
Can we as a group agree to never go underwater again? Please.
But what if a friendly turtle says, "Come and ride on my back"?
Well, that's not going underwater then, is it? That's going off
It
the water.
might want to
Well,
go for a dive.
Very, very special case. I mean, that's like saying,
You
what if a
remember the
dolphin...
Ballad of Finding Nemo?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, fine. In a Finding Nemo situation, yeah, we'll go underwater. That was a great book, by the way. But
Oh, I saw it as the play.
oh, it's fine. Maybe they haven't heard of it on the boat. We can regale them with it as story time. Anyway, but I, for one, am never doing that shit again. Oh my god! Thought we were fucked.
But yeah, all these people start surrounding you. You can hear shouts of "Get blankets! Get here! We will bring them in. You need to warm them up." There. You see, you like sort of look around. The skin on all of you is very sort of pale and bluish. You know, from someone who has been very cold. You're all shivering quite violently and sort of splashing through the shallows and onto the beach. Walking up the beach towards one of these huts, you just hear the voice of Ivan. Sort of "Where are they? I'm going to kill them." Pushes through and it's like, "Oh, I thought you had died," and just sort of pulls all of you into a massive hut.
Aww.
Don't follow me like that again.
Oh, he cares.
That's the host form of figures.
Oh.
Yeah. No, not necessary.
So it embraces you all. It's just sort of, you can tell, like, from the inflection in his voice, he's really quite cut up about the fact that he genuinely thought you might have died. Seems to have become quite attached to you guys in the weeks you've been together.
Well, it seems through this hug we've become quite attached to you too. In a more literal sense, of course.
Yeah. You all make your way guided inside a low hut. There is a hole in the ceiling and a section of the floor is unboarded and left exposed to just the sand of the beach, where a fire is kindling, roaring away quite merrily. You're all pulled down on little log stools around it, and over the course of several hours you start to warm up under numerous blankets, and you're able to change your clothes so you're not sitting in wet clothes, and fed various hot drinks and stews and things like that have been bubbling away. And as you warm up, quite a reasonably sized group gathers around you of villagers, the ship's crew, that sort of thing, all eager to hear your story as to what happened and where you went. And so they sort of explain to you that they started clearing the ships and things like that, and then because everyone was off doing their own little thing for a little while, they didn't really notice you guys were missing, and then when they paused for a break and everyone sort of gathered for lunch and stuff like that, they were sort of looking around and none of you were there. They started to worry about where you'd gone. And then they started looking for you, worried that potentially you'd been swept out to sea, or one of a sea creature or something had come for you, or that you had wandered off somewhere, or just decided to leave.
No.
We decided to swim the rest of the way.
Yeah. We don't need a big fancy boat with comfy beds and crossbows. No. My life can do all that for me.
Oh.
But yeah, so how much do you decide to share? On, by the way.
It is not, because we were eating and then I forgot to put it.
I did wonder if you were eating initially, and then I got wrapped up in.
We were initially
so I wasn't sure.
Being ravenous on kebab.
Nom.
Well, everyone, what basically happened was we went down and we found a frickin' torture chamber of some creepy half mer people. And then we found the final mer person who attacked us with these other big, creepy undead things. And there's lots of undead things down there. But looks like we lived. In the end, the whole temple collapsed. But we lived. Arwen went back in time. Not a big deal.
Just something I do on the weekends, you know.
The whole temple collapsed. We all thought we were going to die, but it turns out, with the power of teamwork, friendship, and healing spells, we're alive.
Woo woo.
Loving it.
That's the quick version.
That is the very, very quick version. Also, by the way, Chantal has gone to the toilet. That is why she's...
I thought she just sunk down really low.
She just sunk down. There she is. Yeah. So that was that. Long story short, we're alive. We can all swim, it seems.
Well, if we couldn't before, we can now.
We couldn't before.
While you've been telling this story, all gathered around this fire, slowly warming up with hot food, beverages, blankets to keep you warm, things like that. The various parties have been listening in, and it's as you finish telling your tale that this orc woman, Nash, she was called, steps forward and says, it sounds like you've had quite a big adventure. Is this... You say it has collapsed. Do you think there is anything left? Is there anything we need to worry about down there? The village...
Nah.
It seems like the village is resided almost directly over it. Is this...
I think because the whole temple sort of collapsed, I think we'll be fine. I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. Yeah. I'm sure it'll be okay.
Do we know if it went like out to sea in the direction of that way or inland?
it seems like it went out to sea.
Okay, then you're fine. You'll live.
Yeah. You guys are, yeah, you guys will be okay.
Sort of pauses for a second. She's still got this huge axe on her person. Sort of contemplates it. Just, yes. So maybe we will, if you could, when you're feeling better, of course, give us some more precise locational directions, and we will have a little explore ourselves and just make sure that nothing is coming out of there.
It's a bit cold.
It is a bit cold. Would
Bring a
put
jacket.
a woolly jumper on. Can have it.
We have methods of staving off the cold when we dive deep.
It might be magical cold.
Also, that would have been really nice to know before.
I know.
Sort of gets a little bit further. We were not anticipating any depths that would trigger this. You know, that would get anything like that. The pressure, the cold. You're, in theory, only going down a short ways to salvage ships. You took it upon yourselves to explore.
Valid point. Never mind. Anyway, what's been happening up here?
Well, we lost half a day's work looking for you.
Oops.
So...
Oh, I am so sorry.
That's alright, apology accepted.
I mean, it was your choice to look for him.
Well, I do not think that your friends would have been much use in that. And I do not hold any power over them, so nor would I stop them looking for their own friends. You were helping us out of the kindness of your own heart, but everyone has been quite distressed.
Oops.
Be that as it
Well-
may, we got a significant amount of work done. You are welcome to stay for a short while if you wish, while you recover.
How's the boat looking? How's the ship and its crew looking, lads?
Yeah, I mean the crew have all started to relax now, having got to know you reasonably well. Most of them quite fond of you as friends. So they were a little bit worried, but seeing you guys safe and sound, they've all started to relax. And while you guys have been huddled around this fire, a little bit more of the general jubilations and revelries of a standard evening has sort of kicked off. There's a little bit of music playing, as well as some more raucous cheers of the people that have spread out. But yeah, the crew looks good. None of them have suffered any harm. The ship, from what you can see, looks exactly the same as it was when you disembarked.
That's good. Okay.
Working order and stuff or anything like that.
How long did the crew want to stay here? Yeah. How long were they thinking of staying here?
Well,
Or how much longer?
Ivan will say to yourself, you were only going to stop for a day or two. Maybe we will stay longer if you guys feel like you need to rest after your near-death experience. If not, then
Nah.
we'll probably
We do this every week.
tomorrow. On the evening tide, most likely.
Excellent. Yeah, setting off tomorrow sounds good. We are very keen to move on and get this. Get Neo sorted. Yeah. I think at that point, we'll just go off and just pray a little bit. I haven't prayed in a while, and I feel like after all the shit down there, I feel like I need it. Need a good pray. I'm gonna take Elvis as well. We're gonna go. That was Sticks, not Elvis.
Oh.
So, the four of you can take long rests. You can clear one level of exhaustion.
I have so much to add. Oh no, I added a level of exhaustion. That's not good.
Yeah, you can all clear one level of exhaustion, recover your hit points, get your spell slots back, all those fun things.
Did we use up a ration?
No.
No. No, it's hard to eat underwater.
Yeah, a bit different.
I don't know. Have you ever tried it?
Yes.
Oh. Well,
Genuinely?
Yeah.
how do, yeah.
It's very hard.
Okay.
Also tried drinking underwater. That's hard too.
I tried drinking
You have to
underwater.
hold your nose.
I did it through a closed bottle.
Mm.
So like a Lucasade bottle.
Yeah.
And it was really, really weird.
Yeah. Don't judge us.
No, I'm just
We're
thinking
normal.
how that would work. Because also, if you like squeeze the bottle to like force it into your mouth, then when you let go, it would suck water back into the bottle, and your bottle would then be filled with pool water, or pond water, or sea water, or whatever liquid you were in.
And that.
That's why it tasted so weirdly chlorine-y.
Yeah.
It's fine, I was used to it.
So you all take a long rest. The next day, everyone sort of gives you time to rest and recuperate. The crew spends a little bit of time helping out, clearing. And as you potentially watch from the beach, it's quite impressive seeing the village work together. People diving down, sort of disappearing for long stretches of time before these huge sections of wood are floated and lifted up to the surface and carried up and placed on the beach, where a crew on the land sorts about going through them, separating salvageable pieces out, working to break things down into their various components of what's useful and what's effectively worthless trash now. The day passes reasonably slowly for you. The weather is chilly, and it starts to cloud over towards the lesser part of the day. Around the middle of the day, the crew all surface, the ones that have been underwater anyway, and everyone sort of starts making farewells and preparations. All work pauses briefly while they say the various goodbyes. Nash and a few others of the villagers come to see you off as you guys head out on a rowboat back towards the ship, climb aboard. The crew weighs anchor, makes ready to sail, and that sort of thing. And in the mid-afternoon, where the sun's just starting to lower in the sky, you set sail again, heading north up the coast.
Yay!
The weather is now
On a boat
on
again.
the point of turning nasty.
On the
A
boat
couple of hours underway, the sea gets a little bit rougher and the rain starts softly sort of plinking down on your heads on the deck before sort of 5-10 minutes later it starts to really pick up, and you find yourselves in not a storm but very unpleasant weather, heavy rain, strong winds.
Anyone remember the last day you remained completely dry for a full 24 hours?
Yeah, it was like
'Cause
2
I
days
don't.
ago.
A long 2 days.
Yeah, this feels like 3 weeks in some ways.
Yeah. I enjoyed that.
Yes, you spend a couple of days sailing north. The weather is persistently bad, switching between heavy showers and just dull sheet iron grey sky, with gusting winds, making the journey a little bit choppy. You can spend some time out on deck, but it is quite unpleasant with the periodic wind and rain. So generally, most people, when they're not involved with actively sailing the ship and have to be out on deck, spend time below, either in their own sort of cabins and crew quarters, or in these communal spaces that they have aboard.
I'm good. I'm staying in my little thing, my little cabin.
Yeah.
Personally,
I mean, I think this is great weather, so just gonna get a deck chair and sit out on deck. Deck chair. Sorry.
There aren't any deck chairs to be had, unfortunately.
What kind of deck is this?
A working one?
chairs on the deck. Deck chair.
Also, generally, the deck chair refers to like decking rather than the deck of a ship.
Yes, but it is a deck.
It is a deck.
Therefore.
By what kind of deck chair she was after? She
You
just said
could
deck.
potentially, yeah, drag a chair up if you wish.
Oh, absolutely.
You get a few strength looks, and it does take you about half an hour to weave this thing through the various sort of corridors and tight spaces of the ship, like pivoting it around and carrying it, having to put it down and pick it up, before you eventually get it out onto the deck of the ship. And you can sit and enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
Duma, the bosun, kind of looks at you and says, "You will put that back where you found it, otherwise, did you get that from the kitchen? Goran if you ruin these chairs."
It's fine, I'm sitting on it, so the wood will not be damaged because it is not going to get rained on.
Sort of
Lovely weather we're having.
I smile and wanders off. I'm imagining Hugo is on your person at this point.
Oh, absolutely. He rode on the chair up here.
Which is probably why it took so long. With the weight of this large cat-sized lizard now. He's had some noticeable growth since the time you got him. Initially, he would all sort of fit in a pocket, whereas now he's definitely not going to fit in a pocket and would be nigh on impossible to conceal under your cloak.
He just goes round my neck like a scarf.
Ordinarily, yes. However, he's distinctly unhappy with the course of events and spends time under your chair, sort of curled in a little ball.
That's what I was thinking.
Trying to stay as close to you as possible, but also as out of the rain as possible.
Oh,
When
so
you eventually go back
adorable.
inside, there is, because of the wind and rain, has sort of pushed it at angles underneath. There is a small, silhouette of his body lying on the ground, where he sort of tucked his head round.
Oh.
That's what we spent a couple of days doing. Styx, you are offered a fishing rod at one point in time.
Yeah, fuck it. Give it. Let's catch some fish.
A couple of the crew just sort of at some point spend their time fishing for some more fresh food and things like that. And potentially Yosef or someone like that who you're familiar with will call on you when you decide to do so you can spend a lot of time. Again, it's a very sense of camaraderie as a group of you try fishing off the back of the ship as it's a little bit of trawling as it's sailing its way up, but it is also quite unpleasant conditions. Just make a straight sleight of hand check for me.
Straight sleight of hand. Straight sleight of hand. Straight sleight of hand. It's 14.
14, not bad. You do have some minor success at fishing and picking up the skills that they teach you on how to cast and things like that. It takes you a few attempts, but you get a good cast out, and you do manage to, although you lose your first fish, you do manage to haul in at least one more before the end of the fishing session.
Can I put a divine smite into my fish?
Into the fish?
Into the fishing rod.
Oh. It was just straight into the fish.
I mean, the weapon itself would be the rod, so you'd have to. I'd say you'd have to hit something with the rod if you wanted to divine smite it.
Damn it.
I mean, if you really want to divine smite the fish, you can.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
I mean, it's a fish, so it's got 1 HP.
It is a fish. It is a being of the sea, for which I'm respectful for,
Does it?
and will then not disrespect it that much.
This is taking out some blatantly newly suppressed feelings about the ocean.
Well, yeah, but what has the ocean thrown at us so far, JJ? A fucking massive crab,
Yeah.
cold, which is apparently the worst thing, was just
Being
cold,
cold.
and creepy dead underwater thingies, as well as pirates, but the sea didn't throw that at us, so that was fine.
Well, technically did.
Mm.
It
I don't
threw
know. Like,
them in our direction.
if there wasn't any sea, then they would have just done that on the land, wouldn't they?
Mm.
It's just not really the sea's fault.
Why are you defending the sea now?
Because, hey, what I'm saying is, it's not the sea's fault there's pirates. That's like blaming the ground beneath me for Boris Johnson. You can't do you can't do that to the sea. It's just too rude. Anyway, in fear of derailing even further, I have fishy. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
You do need all the fish end up getting handed over to Kavran Cook. So you guys can all enjoy some fish tonight. And as well as some deep fried potatoes, in which Warren hasn't quite come up with before yet.
What? Deep fried potatoes? I think a good name would be deep fried potato. bit of DFP, you know?
My favourite.
Is there anything you'd like to be doing for the next couple of days, Byron?
Not that I can think of. Chilling out. Happy she's not dead. Dealing with some PTSD from that entire situation.
Does anyone on the boat know the language of those things that you have?
Oh, that is a good point. Yeah.
Anyone speak undead fish? Anyone?
Actually, Carrie's going to take them to the captain and ask if he knows anything. Or if he knows anything.
Yeah, so you bring them to Ivan, showing him the 4 tablets you got. And just let him know that don't read this, don't know it, and don't read this. I mean, potentially we can work it out with negative forces. There will be someone who will maybe have some insight into this. Perhaps you would like to. If you have any sort of notes or anything like that you want to make on it, I have some papers and things you can take some notes. But this language is not obligation, it is not common. I would not expect anyone on the ship to know this, but well, people will say.
Oh, thank you for your help.
I think in that time Neil will technically come to you, Clary, and given your keen interest in history, ask you if you can sort of spend some time with him, effectively chronicling the things that have happened so far, and just writing down, maybe with the help of Arwen and Styx, to get the details of when he was first awoken down better, as he was a little bit vague on the situation at the time. You can get a relatively complete between you story of everything that has happened for him so far,
Yeah.
to try and potentially get the best diagnosis. Might be the right word.
The best. Wait, what? What would he look for? The best? Yeah, diagnosis for him.
It's basically like all the evidence around everything that's happened with Neo, so
Yeah.
an outsider could look at it and go, oh yes, maybe this magic will help.
I see. Yeah, that's fair. That sounds like a mighty fine idea, son.
Yeah.
Where are we?
You guys are very
In the
very
sea.
far north now.
Yeah, I get.
And
We're in the
after
sea.
a few days pass, the weather seems to abate, and it is around mid-morning on the third day after leaving the small village. You're all potentially below deck, still in your cabins, but Ivan comes around and he seems to have a big sort of boyish grin on his face. He seems quite excited about something. Knocking on your doors and sort of bring you out and says, "You're hot to see this," and pulls you out up the deck, and goes and sort of stands over and takes the wheel from Volg, who've got it at the moment, and just sort of stands there expectingly. And it's a little bit cloudy this morning, but sort of patchy cloud and things. And then ahead of you, you're watching the horizon, and 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes go by, and Ivan's just got this grin on his face, and he's not said anything. And then, just as you're potentially about to ask what you're looking for, ahead of you, one of the clouds slowly parts and is slowly pushed apart as a giant piece of rock floating in the sky pushes its way through, and you get your first glimpse of part of Hengist Fossa.
Is in the sky?
As you approach,
What the?
slowly and slowly through these shifting clouds over the next 10, 20, 30 minutes, an hour, as the clouds shift and part, and before you, you see, rising into the sky, scattered all over the place, are these huge, colossal chunks of rock, soft, silently just shifting very slowly through the air.
How do you people get from one to the other?
That is a very good question.
Dragons.
I would just sort of look at you and chuckle like, yeah, that's supposed to be something.
Me with you go around my neck like, yes. Madness.
The answer is teleportation. I'm sorry, it is a little bit more mundane, but it is.
You just teleport?
Indeed.
Sort of.
There are three main islands: sea, stone, and the sky. And as he sort of like gestures and points them out in their shifting positions, there are indeed 3 sections of rock that dwarf everything else that you can see. These are sort of rocks that you think would be big enough to support a small town in terms of size, whereas everything else is sort of house-sized. There are these 3 large sections.
Do you get a whole rock to yourself?
you'd be able to see from that there aren't enough. It's not like individual rocks. They are
If you're rich, could you?
reasonably spaced out. I suppose you could, but most of them are relatively uninhabited. As you said, difficulty of getting from one to the other is quite a challenge. But we maintain 3 steady settlements on sea, stone, and sky for various things. There is also, and now as you start to get closer, you can see the first signs of what is the major settlement along the coast. And it is almost entirely, again, built from wood. All the structures, everything is built out of wood. These low houses that you're used to seeing, these orc settlements of varying sizes, all spread along the coast. And then behind, set up slightly further back, away from the shore, you can see, and these wooden structures do spread further back inland than they did at Grenenvik and things like that, and they spread all the way up to this stone castle that you can see. From this distance, you can't really pick out major details. It seems to be, as castles go, not a huge castle, reasonably small and square, but it is still a stone castle nonetheless. And all these buildings sort of seem to congregate around it and spread out to the ocean.
This place is cool.
This is pretty wicked, to be fair. And this is like another orc place.
Mm-hmm. This is what would be described as the orc capital.
This is like the other ones are living like wooden huts and shit.
These dudes are floating.
These ones.
The buildings here are still the same sort of design and style and size and things like that. There is just this unnatural phenomenon of these huge pieces of floating land.
Okay, I'm going to be that guy. How are they floating? I haven't.
Fellas, we do not have an explanation other than long ago something happened here. The Ivan he's just a sailor. He's not a historian or anything like that.
Arwen looks to Neo and wonders what he did.
Do you not ever worry that one of these days they'll just stop floating?
Jesus.
Maybe.
I'm just saying, you don't know what started it, you don't know what's going to stop it either.
It is possible. We just cross our fingers and hope. That is, I mean, we might as well make use of it while it's still up there.
You just wait till I come back with like a 20th level wizard to spell magic at 9th level. If that does anything. I mean, I'm not saying I will, but I'm just saying you're leaving yourselves open. That's what I'm saying. But if they're dropping a whole island on someone, seems like a pretty surefire way to
that's
Anyway.
how we're gonna kill Neo's dad.
Fly one of these islands over.
Just drop.
How much is that? Like 2,000 D6?
Based on everything he said, you do, and the movements of it, you do not get the impression they control the islands. The islands seem to sort of float of their own accord, controlled by their own internal magic, whatever's going on.
I see.
That's so cool.
That's pretty cool. Alright, Ivan, where can we find this lady, I've forgotten her name again, the one that we're going to go see about Neo's brain. Oh,
Arwen left her book in her cabin and can't remember anyone's name.
We have done well.
Lady. Magical lady.
Magical lady, yes. Okay, where can we find a great healer?
The great healer.
The great healer of these lands.
Zinda Farsightus.
That one.
My man's got it.
Can be
Yes.
found, she will either be at the castle or she will be on Sky, potentially.
On Sky. I don't have that subscription.
And one comment takes all the mystery away.
Anyway. Okay. Should we start at the castle?
Yes, because I want to see a castle.
Okay, now I'm starting to think we shouldn't start at the castle because that wasn't a I want to see a castle. That was a I want to see things from the castle kind of.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what you're implying.
I'm implying that you want to steal things from the big fancy orc castle.
No. Not unless they're being mean to animals. Then I'll steal their shoes. Orcs wear shoes?
Yeah, they wear shoes.
Okay, cool. Add to my collection.
Fantastic. What? Oh god. Add to your collection. Okay. Let's head to the castle. Let's dock up first. And then I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, just swim out. Through the sky.
So,
Yeah, how are we gonna get there?
over the course of sort of another sort of hour or so, you eventually come in, and as you approach, you can see numerous vessels sort of moving around and traveling off. And it seems like they generally take a wider berth into the deeper ocean from the coast than you guys were taking on your way up, which is why you would have potentially seen a couple on traversing south as you were traversing north, but you might not have seen as many because you were sticking quite close to the coast. But yeah, you start seeing little, larger trade vessels, smaller fishing vessels, things like that. And as you start mixing in amongst this crew, in amongst these ships, you slow down before eventually pulling up at one of these great piers they've got. There are dozens of them scattered about, maybe 400 meters, a quarter to half a mile long, out into the ocean, where different boats dock up, and the crew expertly brings it in to one of these berths. As they do, various people on the docks start giving calls, waving, friendly greetings as they recognise the sort of familiar ship and friends and things like that. Tying up, a rather officious-looking orc approaches the ship, holding a large clipboard. looks officious but is quite small in stature. And just almost wields his clipboard like a weapon, you can see.
Oh no.
It is his right and duty to manage all of these things.
Oh dear.
Shall forever name you in my mind as Clippy.
So, as he steps down onto the dock, sort of thin, sort of reedy voices. "Oh, you've been away a long time, haven't you?" Not even looking up, just looking down at his clipboard. "Haven't you, Ivan?"
I do not like this guy's tone.
No, me neither.
As I was just like, yes. Anything to declare?
Oh no.
Some few things you forgot last, and as he like literally looks up and looks Ivan in the eyes. "Forgot last time." Right, smart. Like, well, we all make mistakes. You think you might forget this time? No, I'm only bringing in a few the usual trades, and starts going through a list and stuff. Yes, well, we'll see about that. I will be inspecting your ship in due course, of course.
Is it just else imagining this guy like Richard Ayoade, but with green skin? Just the way he sounds, sounds very, very similar.
Still like looking down at his clipboard, sort of peeling up pages, looking at things and stuff. And eventually, he sort of looks up and looks at the boat itself and sees the four of you standing there, and he's sort of like, "Huh! And who are these people? What do you think you're doing, Brink?" So, it's fine. These guests of Helga, all the way from Denderport, they are looking for an audience with Zinda herself. Indeed, well, I doubt they'll get one.
Can we? Is Elvis about?
Elvis is about.
Can he just kind of, go up and just stand next to this orc just to like intimidate him with his size?
Yeah, I'm on Elvis at this point.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So you ride Elvis down the gangplank. It's quite
Sort of walking down, staring him right in the eyes as
it's quite an unsteady journey, as the weight of both you and Elvis causes the gangplank to bow very slightly. But it's it's designed for taking cargo and things up. So you're doing alright. You make it down fine. And then there's a sort of gentle clop as his hooves on the boards before that just reaches over and the shadow just looms over him. Just like, he's looking down at his clipboard. Yes, well that all seems to be in order. And sort of the shadow falls over and frowns at the top. Ah! Livestock! That'll be extra, Ivan.
Oh no.
Actually, it's Fey stock. Technically not. He's alive.
I mean, technically, you can just kind of dispel him, can't you? And be like, "What livestock?" I think you're going a bit, you're seeing things that.
Which makes him a guest.
Yeah, he is a guest. He can think for himself. He's a person
Trapped in an elk body.
He's my friend, and my friends are people, mostly. Some of them are in my head. Most of them are alive. Person, elk, things. Faye, I think you'll actually find. Clippy. I mean, what? Who said that?
Yes, well, Be that as it may, animals cost extra.
Alright, fine. If you're gonna be an arse about it, I'll just click my fingers and it'll dispel. You know.
It was an illusion.
Even weird animals cost extra.
He doesn't exist
What in the
anymore.
goddamn fuck did you just say, boy? Six says this and walks right the fuck up.
Arwen sees this and is good. Ooh, a fight.
You can make your weird deer thing disappear all you like, but if it's coming in, it costs extra.
Oh, it's not. It's not come in yet.
Well, yeah, it's not coming in. It's part
It's
of
gone.
me, sort of.
Part-
It's in the Fey.
Are you coming in? Hmm?
It's in the Feywild. Like, there's nothing.
Hmm?
Nowhere near here.
Ivan will discuss it later. And just turns around and puts his clipboard under it, like scribbles a final note, puts his clipboard under his arm and just stalks off. Just make an insight check.
Yeah.
Ivan lives on this island, right?
I think so.
How dare this man charge him to enter his own home?
Fuck.
It's because
I'm
he's
very
importing goods.
Yeah, it's because he's come into dock.
This is
He's got
he's
to-
the
he's
customs
import-
officer.
Exactly. He is the customs officer, that is correct. Probably not even the chief customs officer. He's just a dick that has a small amount of power and is lording it over other people.
And a small dick.
Do I get that from my 5?
No, that's just
These
we all pick up. There was going to be something else if you rolled better than a 5. But...
He's just a dick. I really want to break his clipboard.
I was thinking the same. I was going to throw it in the sea. How do you like the sea now?
Oh, welcome. Clary, could you steal me his clipboard with your magic hand?
Oh my god, can I?
I mean, make a sleight of hand check if you want.
+9. Oh, fuck, 13.
So, your hand's invisible, right? Your mage hand.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So, although a mage hand is still a spell, what are the components to mage hand? Is it verbal or somatic or?
It is a cantrip, but if you go to it's VS, verbal
so
and
it's
somatic.
So you've got to say things and do little hand gestures. So his clipboard is tucked under his arm, and you grab it with a 13, and just it starts to pull it out as he walks forward. So he's like, "Huh?" And turns around and looks at you. Make a stealth check to subtly.
Ooh.
So he doesn't notice the subtle sort of mutterings and little subtle. I imagine you're not doing this to summon the mage hand. You're not waving. It's all little subtle hands by your waist come to me.
I like to think of just sort of chills on your shoulder, just like a little.
So he then more forcibly grabs
That's your familiar.
grabs
It's
his
your mage
clipboard,
hand.
and pulls it back out of the mage hand's grasp, holding it sort of firmly in his hands as he moves more quickly, and sort of head on a swivel, looking around for whatever the source of the mischief was.
Oh, dude.
Damn it.
Ivan, however, standing next to you, does notice this, and he's just sort of, "Oh, please try to stay out of trouble while you're here."
Sorry, Ivan.
It's fine. It's fine. In this big wooden city, I will make sure to stay out of trouble. Oh, and do you have any fire spells?
I have a whole fire animal.
This clipboard. Excellent. This clipboard's made of wood. Let's burn it. I'm joking. We're not burning anything. This is a whole city made of wood. That doesn't feel like I should have made that clear.
Well, before you don't burn anything, maybe you should come with me.
Maybe. Yeah.
Start leading
go.
off through the city. This is quite a large city. It's certainly bustling about. You are the only non-orcs that you see, and so you do get a few sort of stares and even a couple of sort of brazen people sort of pointing you out to other people as you walk past, sort of, giving nudges and pointing in your direction. If there's anything you would like to do on your way up, you do pass through a number of sort of different districts, and so if you request, I can detour you to places you would want to go, blacksmiths and so forth.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to a blacksmith. Quick. And then maybe a magic shop, depending on what the guy says is a blacksmith.
Yeah, okay. So, Ivan, quite quickly from the docks you find several blacksmiths about. You can hear the ringing of hammers on steel and things as you approach. There are large columns of sort of darkish smoke from several chimneys. Yeah, leads you over to these sort of various blacksmiths that you can find. Leads you up and Ivan sort of gives a big thump on the sort of frame of the door, and a orc sort of looks up, sort of big goggles over their face, and two rags in their ears. Ivan sort of pounding, gives a big shout, and the orc looks up and sort of, you can see you're sort of squinting through these goggles for a second, and wearing this big leather apron, holding a set of tongs on one hand, a hammer in the other, hammering a piece of glowing steel. Looks up, recognizes his face brightens up and then sort of pulls off these goggles and puts them down in front of them, face breaking out into a big smile. Says, "Ivan, is that you? When was the last time you graced my shop?" "Hello, Sully. Not for some time, that's for sure. And I don't believe it was your shop I was gracing." She sort of gives her a wink.
Damn!
Tells you that Sully is one of the finest blacksmiths. You hear a voice behind you. "One of the finest and the best here, you asshole."
I like this lady.
"The best here, and you know it." She sort of mutters something under his breath. Gives a wry smile.
Cheeky. Hi. Hello. Don't mean to intrude,
"Oh, what can I do?"
but I was wondering if you happened to know anything about Enchanted Armor. Me and my party have several ordeals, and I don't really want to progress into heavier armors, like sort of medium or heavy armors. I quite like my leather stuff, but anything that could potentially give this a bit of a bonus that you might know.
Yes, I know a little bit. I tend to do the the brunt of the work around here. It is, well, as you can see, I am the brawn. And she turns and gives a shout behind her. Fazilia! And out from the back, from a small workshop, a pair of sort of a much shorter, bespectacled orc comes out with a quill in hand, sort of ink stains over their fingers. Says, "Yeah, sorry, what can I do for you? What is it? It's like, we have some customers. This is my sister, Cesaria. She handles the fancy schmancy, what have you."
Yes.
Much smaller orc, sort of, glasses on her nose, looks over you, sort of big glasses, like big round glasses, like making her eyes look almost twice as big. It's like, what my sister is trying to say is that I handle the magic side of things. She just hits the shit.
Hey!
Hits it well, mind you, but sometimes I have to tell her exactly where to make it work. I heard that.
Oh, that's funny.
So yes, you were inquiring about, what was it? Well, presumably something arcane, if Suli
Yes.
on me.
So, I am not a very big fan of the heavier armors. I like my leathers and my sort of natural stuff, being a follower of Zuriel, and therefore I was wondering if you had anything that was still remaining to be leather, or even maybe like studded leather, but potentially magically enhanced, or enhanced in some way, so they could give me benefits. Essentially, in D&D terms, a +1
Yeah.
on a
Yeah, I get what you're after.
thing like that.
She says, well, we don't stock items like that. Something like that is somewhere out here. We have we don't have. I mean, this is not the sustainable business like you would find in one of your more, central human cities. But I have, over time, acquired several schematics and blueprints that could be used to create something like this, if you desire.
Yeah. How much might something like that cost? Obviously, I understand it probably be quite a lot.
One moment. She goes back and you hear sort of the sound of like rustling and sort of like opening and like sort of riffling of pages and like the snap of a book closing. She's like, no, not that one. And then sort of thuds as she seems to be like sort of plonking these things down, sort of rifling through various papers and things. Aha! Yeah, and then comes out sort of with like a book about sort of 6 inches from her face. So open a page, one hand running down, and yes, that's something like that would cost you in the region of materials, time. If Suli doesn't get it wrong the first time, get swatted on the back of the head. And if you don't do it wrong either. They seem to have a fairly banterous sisterly relationship. Yes, I've one of those things only blew up once. Yes, I took off the shop with it. Something like that would cost you in the region of 500 gold and take about a week.
Alrighty.
Alternatively, if you were not staying very long, would be willing to sell you a copy of this schematic for around 200 gold, and you could take it to someone else if you potentially were staying somewhere else for a long period of time.
What if I was to trade some stuff with you? Could I potentially bring the cost down a little bit?
Yeah, we will. If you have items, then we can trade the gold price down for the value of the item, of course.
Goddamn-tastic. So, first of all, here is a longsword. My old one, my old non-magic one. Basic ass longsword. It has seen some use, although I don't think it ever killed anything. No, it killed a bunch of stuff, actually. What am I on about? So there's
Suli
that.
sort of takes it from you as you're holding this out to Zalia. Suli sort of like takes it out of your hand and sort of like runs her fingers over the edge, examining it. Notched in one or two places. That gives it a swing through the air. Balance is good though. Handle is a little longer than I would like to personally, but each to their own. This is probably worth 12 gold. Second hand.
Yeah. Fine. And then I've got these, what are they, crystal pieces from down in the thing that we were just in.
You picked up a series of sort of blue gems. Are
Yes.
those the ones you're referring to?
How much? Yes. As well as, and maybe being a.
You had 4 pairs of gems, didn't you? Of 4 pairs
Yeah.
of increasing size. So
Yes.
they are worth 25, 50, 75, and 100 respectively. And that's each. That's each. So 2 25s, 2 50s, 2 75s, and 2 100s.
And how many did we take each? Because I know Arwen took some, I know Clary took some, I know I took some. Did we?
put them in
You
the
got 8. I thought you were taking more 6.
Oh yeah, so I put a bunch of them in the Neo Fund. I put 8 purple and blue gems, 2 tiny, 2 small, 2 medium, 2 large. But I added some to my own inventory.
There was just the 8.
Just the 8. Does anyone mind if I use the 2 large for this? And then if it comes to enough money to get me the armor, I will thank you. If it doesn't, then we'll just put that money into the Neo Fund anyway.
What do we do if we get to the lady and she's like, give us loads of money, and then we don't have enough because we used it on armor?
That is a good point.
Just thinking practically, like once we've done the whole memory thing.
Yeah, I feel like we should probably do that first. Alright, well, actually, yeah, that's a very, very good point. Okay. Also, just decluttering my inventory. Can I sell you these scales as well? Can I sell you these basilisk scales? I don't know how much you're willing to pay.
These are not really worth very much to us. An alchemist or someone would. I mean, I would give you a couple of gold for them, but they might be some nice decorative pieces on some armor or it's laid in the handle of something, but they're not really worth much to us here.
Fair enough. I will take them to someone else.
Someone more alchemical could potentially.
Sounds good. Okay, we have a place to be, and we have something rather big to pay for in gold. But however much, so when we've done that, I'll come back and I'll sort some stuff out with you guys.
By all means, you know where to find us.
Excellent. Thank you very much. On to Healerly.
And then just like, Ivan, how long are you for? It's like, well, I'll be here for some time. It's like, so you're like, good, you know where to find me. And it's like clasp forearms and like.
I was about to do. Ivan's got a girlfriend. Ivan and lady sit in a tree.
That lady.
Yeah, so moving on, I was like, is there anything else you want to... Anyone else you want to visit?
No. I personally am good.
Okay.
Anyone else need to visit anywhere?
No, I think I'm okay.
Excellent.
We'll say, do you want to visit anyone more alchemical along the way? There are a couple of places.
Oh, if there's one on the way, yeah, I mean, might as well.
Oh, where?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a little bit of walk ahead of us anyway, so a small detour is not much. But yeah. So you find an arcanist shop who will buy basilisks. Do you have an individual number of scales?
No, I believe I just wrote down basilisk scales.
Okay. Well then, they will buy the quantity of scales that you've got for 20 gold.
20 gold. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Makes me a little more. Well, makes us a little more rich.
Okay.
We now 462 gold pieces, 12 silver pieces, 26 copper pieces, 300 gems, 120 gold pieces in diamonds, and 8 purple and blue gems. If this isn't enough to save Neo, my God.
It'll be expensive, I know that much.
Yeah. Probably.
So, you, after some walking, you eventually make your way to this castle. As you sort of approach, you can see it looming over the top of all the other structures, and it becomes clear that this is a very old castle. The stonework is crumbling in places and is very much discoloured from its sort of time by the sea. Over the years, sort of moss has grown in large patches on the sides, things like that. And it's got this sort of salty patina to it, where the salty air and the ocean sort of eaten away and encrusted it. It is set very slightly away from all the wooden buildings. So you sort of break out of this last cluster of houses and things like that. You have to walk maybe sort of 100 yards or so up to it. There is a guard, but he doesn't seem to be a guard for keeping people out, more just sort of a general watch, like you might have on, like there doesn't seem to be a restriction on who can come and go. There's just someone there watching and sort of maybe just keeping an eye out for trouble or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess we'll keep on heading in.
Yeah, as you approach, sort of just looks you all up and down, and sort of What's Ivan, what's going on? Ivan will turn and say, Kaya. Long story short, Helga wanted me to bring these four up. They've, well, they're worth their weight in gold for as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to keep them around for as long as possible. You wouldn't have made it here without them, but apparently they were helpful too down in Denderport, so Helga promised them passage up here. They have one of them, sort of just as Neo has something wrong with his memory. They're hoping Zinda can fix him. She is on Sky at the moment. But if you head on in, Reshi will send you on your way. He's down below, I think. So you head on in. Ivan will lead you through a series of corridors to an open courtyard that has 3 large circles inscribed on the floor in this sort of glittering jeweled script. Says, Fate, I'll be back in a moment. He disappears off, and you're left just standing there for a little bit. The hustle and bustle of the city can be faintly heard. Now you're out in this open courtyard still, and above you can see these huge shifting masses just slowly, silently. It's quite eerie because they don't make any noise. And you haven't heard any huge sort of crashes or anything like that, so you don't think that they ever collide with each other, seemingly. You end up sort of waiting 10-15 minutes before Ivan returns with a tall, thin-looking orc with sort of quite a long, pointy beard and wearing very sort of elaborate robes with brightly coloured trim around the edges of the sleeves and the hand. But it's sort of deep, almost deep purple, almost black for the main body of them. And, this is actually, he handles most of the transportation work around here. And helps out, makes him sound he's very important to Cinder and things like that. So he looks you over and says, yes, I am Reshi. I feel Cinder is you're looking for. She is up on Sky at the moment. Please, this way. Gestures you to one of the circles, and the 5 of you take your positions in it. I would sort of quickly say, has any of you ever teleported before? It can be a little unpleasant first time.
I have decked.
Well, you might be alright. I never get used to this. And he sort of screws up his eyes as Reshi starts to move his hands through the air and speak words of the arcane. As his hand starts to glow, he raises them up, and light emanates from this portal. And it's that feeling you get when you go over a short bridge or a small bridge quickly in a car, and your stomach just up inside you, and you're just like, as you all drop through the floor, but then quickly it just swallows you up, and so you feel like yourselves shooting down, and then almost as quickly rising up again, and you pop out of the ground. And the first thing you notice is you're no longer outside; you're actually inside, and it is surprisingly warm. It's actually, you suddenly notice that there is stark clouds all around you, and you can see, and then, but actually, yeah, it is toasty where you have arrived. And almost immediately you feel a little bit of sort of sweat and things start to perspire on your foreheads. And looking around, you can see you are actually in a huge greenhouse. There is this space cleared in the centre of it for this teleportation circle. And then off in the different directions are various crops and things like that.
Ooh.
So yeah, you seem to be off in, and as you appear out of the ground, a little sort of bumblebee floats around, kind of sort of buzzing, sort of circles a couple of times around Clary's head, and then sort of buzzes away.
Hello, Bumblebee.
Aww.
Ivan's just sort of like, yep, nope, still not used to that. She'll be around here somewhere. And starts like wandering off, leading you through. It's not a colossal greenhouse, but it is, reasonably sizable. There's a decent number of plants and things growing, and as you're walking past, you can see they all seem to be. Well, make a nature check for me just to see if you can determine what sort of plants they are. Anyone can do this.
Oh boy! Shit! What are my rolls tonight?
Anyone can make a nature check if they want. So, Clary, you pick up on this best. These resemble a food you recognise, although they are subtly different from the ones you potentially find in your homeland. They're slightly different shapes and hues and things like that. But these are all they're all sorts of peppers and chilies of some description. All sort of like hanging on little stems and things like that. As Ivan's sort of walking along, he just sort of like reaches down and like snaps one off and offers it to sort of takes a bite of it and then breaks off another one. It's like, anyone?
Fuck it, sure.
Make a Constitution saving throw for me, Sticks.
You piece of poo. Just better go. Better. Oh my god! I'm a +5.
So Sticks, you bite into this, and you're like, yeah, this tastes really good. And then you take like a second bite, and this time you like end up going through some of the seeds that are held slightly nearer the stem, and you crunch into them, and all of a sudden you're just whoosh. You see Stix's face turns bright red, and he's there just sort of as your mouth starts burning up, and you can see his eyes start streaming. And I was like, oh yeah, no, sorry. Sorry about that. Should have warned you, don't eat the seeds. As you can see, sort of like one of them is like stuck.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for that warning.
Do elks produce milk?
I mean, technically, yes, they are mammals.
Yeah, but are they like cows?
No, they're not like cows.
Oh, don't drink that milk then.
Wait, whose milk am I drinking now? What?
I think I'm going to suggest you drink Elvis's milk.
Okay. It's going to sound really weird, but I thought you said elf. I was about to say, thanks for the offer, but I'm good.
No.
Not that desperate, my man.
No. That was not an offer.
Okay. So.
Oh, I will.
You progress.
I will have one of my healing.
Eventually coming to
it take the action?
to a cluster of quite large beehives, and the sound of soft humming reaches your ears. As you approach, a woman dressed in white with a large hat with a sort of a long veil, large white hat and long white dress with a large veil over her face, is there just sort of humming, doubled over, sort of checking one of the beehives. And as the sound of your footsteps approach, she straightens up and looks around. Fair art, Ivan. It has been a long time. So he sort of pauses and bows respectfully. Yes, and it has indeed been some time. And how are you getting on? Well, the ship, and sort of gives her a few minutes of you can tell he's quite nervous about being here. And then she sort of just gives him one last look. And have you thought any more on what I said last time? She's like, yes, I have. I do not think it will come to that just yet.
I'm intrigued.
Anyway, these are...
Hi, but I have a question.
Yeah?
When was the last time you were here? Because it seems like everyone's saying it's been a long time since they've seen you.
Oh, well,
do you not visit people?
Well, it takes... trading takes
Actually, yeah, that's a good point.
So...
And to be fair, that's taken us like a couple of months to get here. So never mind.
To get here.
Okay. Even still, a couple of weeks is a while.
Yeah.
Especially when, it's taken us a couple of weeks to get there. Then he was come from there to get there.
Yeah. So it takes a few weeks to get here, there, and everywhere, especially when you have to go around. It's been a while. These are... So yes, these are, and sort of goes this way. Yes, I know who these are. And then there's when she sort of lifts off the big hat with the thick veil covering her face, and you can see it's very old, very lined, wrinkled green skin as her face is revealed. Long white hair tied up out of the way. But very, very white, almost pure white, very little grey in it at all. And her eyes, looking at her eyes, you can see that she looks to be completely blind. Her eyes are cloudy and don't seem to focus on anything. But she doesn't seem to move or anything like that, as if she seemed very comfortable in the space and moving around before you could see her face. She didn't give any perception that she was blind. She wasn't feeling for things or anything like that. She was just moving quite normally, walking around. And even though she's not potentially looking at anything, as she says she knows you, her eyes do lock with each of yours in turn, and there's just this feeling of someone looking through you, like they already know so much about you. Guess,
That's worrying.
Okay.
I was in touch, and I kept an eye out, as it were, and kept watch over your journey. To see.
Okay. Well, thanks for that.
What is it that I can do for you?
I think you already know if you've been looking.
Well, I do. But I would like to hear it anyway. There is only so much I can glean from a few scant messages from Helga.
Basically, our friend here, I'm assuming you know Neo. He
Helga has told me his name.
You can show her the notes for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just that. It'll probably be easier than me trying to explain it. Yeah, long story short, lost his memory a very, very long time ago, and we need it back to stop an
Bad
undead
things.
thing. Bad things happening to the land.
Yeah.
It's-
So you take some time explaining exactly how you came to find Neo, how you found him in that underground dungeon type area, how there seemed to be the remnants of magic surrounding the place, how there was. You explained how you found the 8 statues, or sorry, the 7 statues and the 1 empty plinth where Neo was. Things like that. How his memory loss and so on and so forth, and also describe a few of your journeys along the way. All in all, it takes you around sort of an hour and a half until she's satisfied with everything that you've told her. And she asks, along the way, she's asking these sort of gentle, probing questions, getting you and sort of picking up on details that you knew but you haven't highlighted. And so when she asks, you're like, oh yeah, that did happen and it went like this. And you find yourself expanding on something you hadn't really thought of significance before. And so she manages to get more out of you than you really thought you had in you to begin with.
Is this free therapy?
After what we've all been through, I think we need it.
How did that make you feel? No. So it's going to be costly. Because after a while, she sort of
So this is therapy.
raises her hand. Sort of, I think I have everything that I need. And you tell her about the fact that you tried some greater restoration and things like that didn't work. Well, yes, I think. Yes, it seems like that would not be strong enough. No. I think we have a couple of courses of action. It sounds to me like Neo was the lucky, I guess, recipient of a faded resurrection spell. Based on what you have told me and of how Neo looks, he is like nothing. No one alive, I do believe. With everything you told me, you found out about the tiefling's horns and so on, it all seems to fit a picture that has been coming together for some time.
How much exactly?
I think it is becoming clear to me that Neo was resurrected, but luckily resurrected seemingly in full, and the only thing that suffered was his mind. To repair it, we will have to bring him back fully.
Okay.
You just love to raise the dead, don't you?
So we're just gonna have to resurrect. Do
More
we have
of
to
the-
kill Neo and then
I
bring him
bloody
back?
hope not. That's what I was wondering.
Is that what you mean, or do we just have to like perform a resurrection spell on him again, and then you'll come back to life? Come back with everything.
No, it is as you have guessed.
Wait, he has to die.
To come back fully, to benefit fit properly. I believe he has to die once more.
Nah.
Oh.
No, no. Can he definitely come back?
Yeah, is this a situation where he'll definitely come back?
I can bring him back.
Will he remember?
You have the required material components. A spell like this is not cheap. Obviously, some of you are magic users. You understand the way magic works. It requires certain items for spells. I am not saying this as some charlatan trying to rip you off for a quick buck. The spell will consume these items, will consume these diamonds, and they will work to empower the spell.
Will he remember this part of his life?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, that's fine.
More concerned about it having no effect on his memory and him being stuck like this. But I'm not worried about bringing him back.
Okay.
It is not a common thing. I will not boast to be someone who does this often, but
How much?
has granted me this blessing, and I use the gifts as feels right.
So how much are we talking here in terms of?
There are several options. Some more powerful than others. Basically, you've got a few options. There is Revivify. There is Raised, which costs 300 GP. There is Raised Dead, which costs 500. There is Reincarnate, which is 1,000. There is Resurrection, which is also 1,000. And there is True Resurrection, which is 25,000.
See,
I think it's True Resurrection, but where? Okay, how much money do we have? So we have.
Hold on, I'm getting a calculator.
Yeah. Okay. So 462.
462. Yep.
Plus. Okay, for the sake of thing, let's say +1.
Yep.
JJ, we have 300 gemstones. How much are those worth each?
300 gemstones?
No.
Oh no, this is a terrible time for Ben to cut out. Neo also has 300 gold.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the Neo fund first.
Yeah.
And then each of us individually.
Yeah.
And then see how much we've got.
Okay, you cut out for a minute, Ben, but it looks like you're back.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, so we have 462 +1 plus 300.
Gemstones?
300 GPs worth in gemstones. Plus 120 plus 25 plus 25.
Another 25.
Yep.
Okay.
Plus 50.
Yep.
Plus another 50.
Yep.
Plus 100.
Yep.
Plus another 100. Plus 75. Plus 75.
So it sounds like you're over
Equals.
1,000.
Hold on, I need a pen. Okay, so that's 1,383.
Is this cost specifically for diamonds then?
It depends on the spell. Most of it is diamonds.
Well, because we have.
Reincarnate requires 1,000 GP of rare oils. So I'm going to say all these stuff is available, and you effectively just need to pay for it.
What's the difference between resurrection and reincarnate?
Reincarnate has a 25% chance to change your race.
Fucking hell, no.
Wouldn't that be funny?
What's the difference between the two
back,
top
but he's
ones?
like a...
And then resurrection has some penalties on it as well. That's the wrong book.
But they go away.
They go away
a certain
over
lot.
time, yes. It's like levels of exhaustion type penalties. I can't remember them off the top of my head.
I think it is levels of exhaustion. Like you get 3, and after a long rest you turn back something.
Yeah, it is something like that.
So how much do we have again?
1,383 in the Neo fund.
Okay. Add, like, I've got 200 gold on me.
You've got 200.
Yeah. 200.
Okay.
I mean, basically, you haven't got enough to get to 25,000. You have got 1,000.
But we've definitely got 1,000.
How much does Clary have?
120.
120. Okay. 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, target takes a -4 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, ability checks every time target finishes. The long rest penalty is reduced by 1 until it disappears.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
The spell neutralizes any poisons, kills, normal diseases affecting the target when it dies. It doesn't however basically, for the sake of some expediency, I know we are approaching time in the the Zinda will effectively say that reincarnate and resurrection are your best chances. Revivify she doesn't think will work because of the way he brings them back. It brings them back in such a weak state that it might not have the restorative powers of his mind. And the same with Raised Dead is it's on the cusp, and so if she was going to gamble on it,
The 2,000 ones.
yeah.
Should we try one of those then? Resurrection? And just see if that works? Because reincarnate, I feel like would be good and it sounds good, but it, like, I don't want to accidentally bring him back as, like, a goblin or some shit.
Mm.
And his whole thing is just gone. Like, with this cool tiefling paladin, he's this tiny little goblin paladin. We have to buy him all the armor and a new sword because he can't.
Oh my god.
I think the fact he's a tiefling is kind of important.
Yeah, it's also very important to him, his dad. You know, obviously these people were. Yeah, like these people were.
Yeah. So
there was like there was 2 elves, there was 2. So I feel like him being a tiefling is quite important, and we don't really want to risk that.
yeah. So normally resurrection is you just roll. I'm going to say because of the way I'm doing this is a 25% chance Neo will change. So you roll D100. If it was below 25, it would change, and then you'd roll to see what he changed into. And it is a 4% chance to remain a tiefling.
Hell no.
If you had to roll.
Lord, 4% chance to remain a tiefling. That's insane.
Because the options are Dragonborn, Hill Dwarf, Mountain Dwarf, Dark Elf, High Elf, Wood Elf, Forest Gnome, Rock Gnome, Half Elf, Half Orc, Stout Halfling, Lightfoot Halfling, Human, and TN.
Oh my
So all of the
God.
options on the D100.
I have 2 very quick questions
Yeah.
before we finish. One, how do we have to kill him? Because I don't want to. But how is that working? Or should that be a question for next time? Which is fine. We can wait. But also, Neo, do you even want to do this?
Yeah,
That's a really good question. We went through all this stuff and we never once asked if he wanted his memory.
Well, no, he does want his memories. It's just now he knows that he needs to die first.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, okay, do you actually want to?
Do you want to die? Do you want to kill yourself? Do you want one of us to do it for you?
Do you trust us? I mean, do you? Yeah.
Like, sort of takes a deep breath, walks a few steps forwards, and sort of just absentmindedly runs his hand along the top of one of the beehives, and sort of a couple of bees sort of buzz out, linger around his fingers, sort of turns around, looks up at the sky. Well, as long as I won't lose what I've got, I trust you guys.
Cool.
Oh my god, I love him.
We'll find out how everything goes down next time. I was hoping we'd get to the end of this bit, because I was going to say you all level up for reviving Neo. So I'm going to say that now, and we will get into the nuts and bolts of it, because I don't want to do leveling up mid-session.
That's fair.
So you can all level up to level 7.
Ooh. Where am I going to put it?
Those of you that need to rush off can roll your hit points later on during the week and stuff like that. And do that at your own leisure.
This is the level where Clary becomes unkillable. It genuinely is. You get evasion. You take half damage from area effects that require dex saving throws. Remember, if you
Could have
pass,
done without this session.
no, it's effect where you need to make a dex save. You like a sort of like a dragon's breath. You take half damage at standard, and if you pass the save, you take no damage instead.
I wouldn't have heard that before.
No. Evasion is so busted. It's ridiculous, especially when you also have uncanny dodge.
I still feel it to me.
True.
Not it would have happened today.
No. Oh, I'm going to be leveling up. And I will meet you inside.
Yeah, I better go. Yeah. Thanks for the session, JJ.
That's alright. Sorry about almost killing everyone, but...
It was certainly exciting.
And then,
it's horrifying.
Digging into some more, continuing into some more lore-based stuff next session.
Yes! I get the second level spells.